Hello, dpolaristar here. Ticked off that I'm late? Well, okay, I understand you're ticked off that I'm late. Okay, I haven't had a new vlog up for about 3 weeks in a row. Okay, maybe 4. Nah, it was 3. I don't know. But I've been really busy, along with technical difficulties, and a bunch of stuff happened. Okay, basically, no, I did not get the job. I thought I was going to get the job because a friend of mine's friend had lost his job, and I thought since he lost his job, then I might somehow get a job to balance out the equilibrium of balance, weight, mass exchange in the universe. But apparently the social hierarchy in society does not follow Einstein's theory of relativity. Yeah, my head hurts too. Let's see, and I've had an all-around really awful week, but what happened was so awful that I can't even tell you. If I told you how much awful of a week I had, you would probably faint. That and the people involved would probably get mad at me and flame me on this YouTube video. Not that I'm not used to that, since I have the very annoying troll, trolling me, and that makes fun of my voice and says I lack the ability to create anything comical or funny, and while my comedic skills are not gold, that helium voice comes from the microphone with this webcam, of which I cannot afford a better one right now, and B, even though I may not be as funny as I'd like to be, at least I do not resort to just dropping F-bombs in every other sentence, lady. Objection. Thank you. Let's see. God, I forgot what I was going to say. Well, my week was so horrible, and I bet you're thinking, well, since I talked on, the last 2 vlogs videos about stealing people's souls, because that sounds pretty horrible. I bet you're wondering, what could be so horrible as to, stealing people's souls would seem like nothing? Well, trust me, you don't want to know. You don't. Anyway, I just had a really horrible week, and I did not get the job. But last 2 weeks were actually pretty good. I made that Metroid vs. Zelda video that half of you have not even watched, and half of you have not even watched. Let me think. Oh, by the way, I also had to defriend some people, because apparently in this country, saying things that people don't like is against the law. Freedom of speech is, no longer allowed. You're only allowed to, tell people what they want to hear, which is extremely annoying. Oh, I also recently watched War Horse, and it was pretty good. I think Steven Spielberg is a fairly good director, and it was an epic movie. I actually wish it would have been longer, which is kind of weird, seeing as it's actually 2 hours long, but it just seemed like there wasn't quite as many events as I imagined. I imagined it being passed through multiple owners, but that's okay. Okay, another thing is the Hunger Games. Let me just say, the Hunger Games movie, I have very mixed feelings about it. I don't think I'm going to be horribly disappointed, but I'm not sure I'm going to be extremely thrilled, because I'm pretty sure they left out some of the psychological aspects from the books. And no, I'm not talking about making it that you can hear her thoughts and that she talks to herself. I'm talking about, seems to be focusing more on the flashy, edgy action and the whole love triangle aspect. I'm convinced that this Hunger Games film is actually an underground conspiracy to turn Josh Hutcherson and give him more fangirls. Plus, whoever plays Gale, I don't know. I only know who Josh Hutcherson is because he played a bunch of other characters on a bunch of other stuff like Firehouse Dog, Bridge to Terabithia, and Kicking and Screaming, which Crooked and Screaming, I don't think it was that great a movie, even though it did have Will Ferrell in it, and he was pretty hilarious. One thing I don't like about those live-action comedy films is how they make every single character an unbearable jerk. And I know it's supposed to be funny and or connect with the main character, who is the only one that's not a jerk, but I just find it extremely annoying. They seem to overplay the jerkiness of it. They seem to hit that very fine line between their over-the-top anal person, but they lack the kind of dunce stupidity to actually make them humorous, kind of like Rich Alvarez's take on Gary Oak on Stupid Mario Brothers. Anyway, about the Hunger Games, let me just say, when I first saw it, there were some things I like about it, like first of all the world based off the trailer so far. I haven't seen the film yet. I plan to do that. But the world based off the trailer so far. I mean, the atmosphere, the setting, the buildings is almost identical to from the trailers how I imagined it would be when I was reading the book. That kind of doom gloom, like dystopian, futuristic society, which is apparently very popular in science fiction. In fact, I kind of like the dystopian view of the future better than the idealistic flying cars because I'm a realist, and the Jetsons view of the future just doesn't seem realistic at all to me. One thing I kind of got upset about on the Hunger Games is why they had a rapper play Cena, because when I imagine Cena, I imagine him as like this French fashion designer, which I know that's racist stereotyping, but come on, it's not like you didn't imagine the same thing. First, I was a bit mildly upset, but when I looked at the trailer, he didn't seem like, oh, horrible. It's not exactly Imagine Me when horrible. And I also reasoned that if Heath Ledger can play the Joker, then that guy can play Cena. Except Heath Ledger had to go to like some mental, had to go like mentally insane to actually betray him. You know what? Heath Ledger, the way he was able to do it is he basically locked himself alone, and he kept a diary of evil thoughts, and the reason he committed suicide is because when he was like done filming the film for The Dark Knight, he had Joker's thoughts. He wanted to get rid of them, so he tried to take medication to get rid of it, and then he went on a different set of medication. The doctor got his second medication, didn't know about his first set, and that's how he died of that drug overdose. You see, I don't know if Heath Ledger's is a good actor or not, because even though he might have done a good job playing Joker, could he have done a better job had he not immersed himself in the Joker's mind and kept him going insane? So, but the point is, if Heath Ledger can play such a character, then that rapper guy whose name I can't remember can definitely play Cena. Another thing I'm excited about is Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance. Wow, that's a mouthful of a title. I mean, what is it with the Kingdom Hearts series and these big titles? We got Kingdom Hearts 1. Okay, good. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Good. Kingdom Hearts 2. That's just Kingdom Hearts with the 2 in it. Good. Kingdom Hearts 38458. I don't remember days over 2 people. That is like a huge sentence. That's okay. Let me count the syllables in that title. Kingdom Hearts 358 days over 2 people. That is a 15-syllable title, people. 15 titles. Of course, maybe the Japanese version might have had a shorter title because, you know, the Japanese words, how they're extremely different from us. And yes, I do hate you weeaboo people who always have to have everything in the sub and hate the dub, even if it's good. I mean, even on Beckman, Gully, and Chopsaw, the Japanese voice acting was horrible because they were trying to imitate American English talking and voice acting and mannerisms through Japanese stuff. And when the Japanese malign the English language or rip English stuff off, like panty stockings, whatever, ripping off the Powerpuff Girls, they call it its charm. But when we Americans do anything that is not kiss up Japanese, then we're perverting American culture, like that old thing about Avatar: Last Airbender being an anime ripoff and being a Naruto ripoff. Okay, the story arcs that are in Naruto are nothing like new. They're like very common story arc cliches to have like the sibling rivaling and the whole anti-hero dark side best friend thing. Okay, they did not rip that off from Naruto. Naruto did not patent that. The people that go, okay, I got a patent on sibling rivalry. Hand over money. Yay. Another thing I don't like about one thing I kind of don't like about Hunger Games, this may not be a fault of the movie itself, but more of how it's being promoted, is there seems to be a grave focus on this love triangle thing, and I think it's so stupid. It's like those stupid gossip soap opera magazines, or like they're trying to turn into another Twilight film, like Twilight 5. Oh wait, it's Twilight 6, because they made 4 Twilight movies because Breaking Down was split into 2 parts. But Donovan, that's 4 Twilights. Wrong! Red Riding Hood was pretty much Twilight 5, but with Red Riding Hood. So that's Twilight 6, kind of. Also in the trailer, there seemed to be too much romantic tension between Gale and Catrus. There is no romantic tension between Gale and Catrus until the second book, and it's still more mild. There's more romantic tension in that one scene I saw in the trailer than the most intense moment of the third book. Of course, that's my interpretation. I'm sure some people's minds, the third book had more romantic tension, but I think it's beyond obvious that in the first book there was not that much romantic tension. Yeah, there seems to be a big focus on the love triangle aspect between Gale, Peeta, and Catrus, and they're trying to catch on the whole Twilight charm. And I know Hollywood likes to sing the song the audience wants to hear, which I'm very much against. I do not like kissing up to people, but I don't like how they're just kissing up to people like that. Why can't they make this original and make it more darker and grittier, like Battle Royale? Yes, I know that film is controversial. If you're wondering, Battle Royale is a book that came out in 2000. It's very similar to The Hunger Games, but not like it at all. And The Hunger Games, Susan Collins, the other Hunger Games, even accused of plagiarism, trying to rip it off. I'll leave that article in a link below. Anyway, let me think. Where was I? Oh yeah, normal psychological edge. Like in the movie, when they send the Mutts after them, in the book, the Mutts are supposed to resemble the dead tributes to psychologically throw them off. They kind of messed up in the first movie. Maybe they'll up the psychological aspect second, third book. Because think about the Hunger Games, it's more about psychology. The Hunger Games themselves is a psychological tactic. And before this develops into a Hunger Games rant, I'll just go on. By the way, Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Okay, one YouTube user, I'll leave a link in the video below, actually predicted 70% accurately before he saw the Jump Festa and the special trailers how Kingdom Hearts 3D and then the ending is going to do it. 70% of it was correct. Basically, spoiler alert, although if you're a fan of the series, you must be stupid not to see this coming. Everyone gets a Keyblade. Yeah, Axel, who's now League, gets a Keyblade. Kyra has a Keyblade, is going to be trained. Yeah, pretty much everybody gets themselves a Keyblade. In the first game, they're built up as being the best, ultimate, chosen one weapons, but now it seems like everybody has one. Also, they're ripping off Chrono Trigger with that whole young Xehanort time travel thing. And one thing I don't get Square Enix is you have Final Fantasy 13 2. Time travel gimmick. Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. And maybe Kingdom Hearts 2 is going to have a time travel gimmick. I don't know, but there's some time travel in Kingdom Hearts now. But you cannot give us our sequel to Chrono Trigger. We cry for a sequel to Chrono Trigger, and you give us time travel in franchise we didn't ask for. I'm not necessarily saying that giving us time travel in those other franchises is bad, but why can't you give us fans what we ask for? And why do you rely on Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and Kingdom Hearts for all your franchise? Why not flesh out the other ones? I'm not talking about giving them lame spin-off sequel like the third birthday for the PSP. Just give us Parasite Eve 3 for the PS3. Give us The World Ends With You 2, or whatever you're going to call it, because that title sounds dumb. Give us Vagrant Story 2. Give us Brave Friendship Sushi. Give us another Mana title, not just on the DS either. By the way, JRPG's dead. Well, if you look at the handhelds like the DS, they're far from dead, my friend. They're far from dead. Especially thanks to Atlas. Picked up the slack where Square and Enix, which are now Square Enix, left off. Well, basically, Kingdom Hearts is everyone gets a Keyblade, hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. And Organization 13 is now made up of Xehanort and a bunch of clones of himself. So you have Xehanort, young Xehanort, Xemnas, and some Seeker of Darkness, young Xehanort. Wait, I already said young Xehanort. And Sykes and Zigabar, which for some reason are so far the only organization members that are still part of Organization 13. But the whole thing about nobody's not having hearts, it turns out in that game that's revealed that was complete BS. But yeah, I probably should put in the description below, spoiler alert for Kingdom Hearts fans. So sorry to all you people that are too lazy to read this description that I just spoiled a bunch of stuff for you. But more stuff goes on, but that's basically how it ends, and the more important ideas. But the meaty content itself, you still have to play the game to get. And actually, I never play the game. All the stuff I got you is basically information people derived from trailers and leaked cutscenes and some stuff from Japan. So I've not actually spoiled anything that has not already been spoiled, although only by elitist websites. By the way, the whole thing about Final Fantasy about Square Enix and franchises, Final Fantasy, I kid you not, they have a rhythm game for the 3DS. Now, it's actually a spin-off I'd be interested in, because, let's face it, Final Fantasy series has some of the best soundtracks ever, and as one pre-reviewer put it, Square Enix has a good track record. Forgive the really stupid pun. But I'm still upset about the fact that Square Enix has to milk all their franchise, especially this Kingdom Hearts mobile thing. By the way, the guy that did the art styles and character models for Kingdom Hearts mobile, he's doing the art styles for the rhythm game. I'm not joking. This is not a joke. I will leave an article below. By the way, Space Battleship Yamato, the anime that pretty much started the anime craze in America over again before it was like popularized by Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z and stuff. Well, basically the show's getting a reboot, and I'll leave a link to that below too. So far, it looks pretty good, although it'll be hard to match the original. Hope they can get it right. Of course, this could also be a good time to fill in all the plot holes that were in the original show that I'm not going to go into. No, it sounds like the show's bad since it has a bunch of plot holes, but don't mind all plot holes. It's still good. You should definitely check it out. It's one of the few things that has me restore hope in Japanese animation. Although I hate that red robot, whose name I can't remember the name of. Well, that's the end of dpolaristar. I'm dpolaristar. I analyze its code you don't have to. Let's hope the Hunger Games is not simply another version of Twilight, and that they don't simply turn every single epic book adaptation into Twilight. Good day. Please subscribe. It's free and easy. Just push the yellow button. Also, each time you subscribe to dpolaristar, you decrease the chances of them milking their franchises by taking the last movie adaptation based off a book and splitting into two, like what they did with with the last Harry Potter Part 1 and 2, and the last Twilight Part 1 and 2, and according to Wikipedia, wasn't going to do the last Hunger Games Part 1 and 2. I mean, seriously, is that really necessary?